Going on, you guys? I like the way you got to another DC TV Talk Part 4 with the Elseworlds Part 3, the finale for Elseworlds. Right off the bat, I'm going to say this has been my favorite crossover thus far. I loved it, and I love this episode because you know how each episode, okay, the first episode was mainly about the Flash, so we got to see more stuff between him and Iris. Second episode was Arrow, so we got to see more stuff between him, Oliver, and Felicity. This episode was Supergirl, so we got to see an interaction between Carl and Alex while still keeping the main things going on. Which we saw this episode because the episode starts off, the black suit Superman pulls up and we find out that that's not actually Superman, it's Deegan. And he wants to go he found the strongest body he could find and he found Superman. And the black, I know a lot of people like they thought the black suit was from like, the death of Superman, the amazing storyline. But me personally, I'm just like Superman, evil Superman, black suit all day long. I take it, you know what I'm saying? And I like how they use it in the way he's like he's still supposedly a good guy, and nobody really knows like his evil ways. And so Barry and Oliver had to outsmart him. They put kids in danger just to see if he was gonna save them. Like, because like Flash was like throwing up after like, I can't believe I just did that. Like, and it's like, hey, if we don't put this, we don't like do something. I mean, we can we can just rewrite it, then once we get the book, but like we had to like really call his bluff, and that was the way we escaped. Even though Superman still has super hearing, I don't see how anybody get away from Superman, but they did, because they smart. And you have cars locked up. Carl like, oh man, I've been good the whole crossover. Now I'm in this been locked up, and Alex is a part of the. Not even the DEO, it's like this some Superman organizations. It kind of felt it kind of felt like injustice in a way. You know what I'm saying? It kind of gave me some like injustice vibes where you either on Superman's side or he pretty much killed your ass, and I like that. And so they had Oliver had to. One of the funniest part, Oliver and Barry had to go talk to Cisco, divide them to Earth 38 to get the other Superman. But Cisco in this world is this big supreme boss. I see the people on Twitter calling him Boss Cisco, which was very, very funny. But the funniest part to me was when they was in Earth 38 and Oliver was like, yeah, good job. And he's like, who told you you could touch me? Who told you could touch me? Like, it was funny seeing Cisco. My bad. Yeah, it was funny just seeing that part of Cisco. You know what I'm saying? It seemed like they had a blast doing this crossover. And so we get good Superman to go back, fight bad Superman. So you have a Superman fight. Of course, evil usually wins, and just those one-on-one fights because they have to boost the bad guys up. And so their whole mission is to get the book. End up getting the book, and now we have to change reality back. But Carl like, oh, I can't do that shit. We're gonna have to let Clark do that. I can't do it. And so Clark starts changing everything back, and he realized like how to save him. And it's in a way that like, he sees how to save him, but it's like we lose Carl and Barry in it. Which in my mind I'm thinking, wait a minute. So we're gonna lose them. Then I thought to myself, I said, nah, we're not losing them. And so Oliver makes a deal with the Monitor in which we don't know what it is. I want to know everybody's thoughts on what you think the deal he made with with the Monitor is, because you have to lose. Like, it's still like to get something back, you have to give up something in return. And some people thought like maybe he gave up the book. No, the book was the monitors in the first place. That's not what he gave up. Like, it has to be two lives that have to go. And since we saved Kari and Barry, Kari and Barry this time, listen, man, let me get right to it, man. After the end of this crossover, they announced Crisis on Infinite Earths. If you know, that is probably the biggest event in all of DC Comics history because it changed a lot. People died. And two people in particular, Barry and Kara. They got saved this time. So is that just to make them die next time? I don't think so. I think when it happens, when Crisis on Infinite Earths happens, Barry and someone, I'm not Barry, Oliver and somebody else are going to die in their place. Now listen, this could be just from. There's been what, seven? I think we don't see it, seven, eight of Arrow. If they want to hang it up, they can hang it up. And that would be one hell of a way to go. Like, I'm really gonna have to look at the Arrow schedule and just be like, yo, is it all gonna be leading up to Crisis on, Infinite Earths? Like, it's some people gonna really be looking at it closely. And like, who's the other person? I don't know. Some people say Superman. That's a possibility. We don't know. But like, oh man, I know I can finish on how this episode ended, but it ended. We don't talk. We don't. And also, a lot of people just ignoring the fact that Oliver had a kryptonite green, a kryptonite arrow, like just ready for some shit to pop out. Like Carl over here worried about the Bat family having kryptonite. Arrow stay strapped with it just in case the shit pop out. Because all the kryptonite on what's names is gone. On a Car's planet is gone. But Earth One probably got a hell of a lot of kryptonite. So I'm pretty sure Oliver is like, he thinks ahead. You know what I'm saying? Not as far as his Batman or anything, but yeah, he thinks ahead. And so another thing I was thinking like no, in none of the other universes, when the monitor was telling none of the other universes that I've ever been confronted. First of all, none of them other universes had Batman, because Batman check any nigga. Now, just to get this understood, right? So, big Batman fan. All right, big Batman fan. But it was that was crazy, because I was just wondering to myself, like, yo, what did Oliver sacrifice to get the arrow that he got to destroy the book? You know what I'm saying? Because that was a magical arrow as well. So I'm just thinking to myself, like, something's gonna happen. And this next crossover, which is probably gonna be the biggest thing in all of TV, like, I'm gonna have, I'm gonna go on the limb. And listen, I know people love Game of Thrones, and Game of Thrones probably be looked at as a better show. I wouldn't argue with that. But for a comic book fan, Crisis on Infinite Earths, if they listen, think about all the people they can bring. You can, like, they have a year to plan this out. So there are people from everywhere. Like so many DC shows that completely shake up the entire universe, like in a way nobody's ready for. Like, 'cause this one was big enough, but when you start bringing in legends, then you probably possibly bringing in people from Black Lightning. Then you still gonna have Lex Luthor introduced, and the people that introducing next year, Batwoman did that whole some elements from Gotham. Dude, this could be like, if they cast a freaking Batman, I might lose my fucking mind. I promise you, I might lose my mind. Like, this is one of the things I'm most looking forward to in 2019. If I'm being honest, we didn't know what this crossover was gonna be until like before the season started. We have a whole year. Like, the hype train is already here. They knew what they were doing. They said, we're gonna start the hype train right now. Like, we're gonna, like, cause like, as soon as they announced it, I started tweeting about it, and I'm trying to watch Black Lightning at the same time. I'm like, oh, this is just completely overshadowed with Black Lightning. Black Lightning should have came on first, because that was one. It's a tough act to follow, and everybody's mind still oozing, your brain still oozing out from thinking about Crisis on Infinite Earths, which I I can't wait to see what happens. Like this, I gave this crossover 10 out of 10, but like, I don't know, I'm gonna have to change my scale up next year. Hell, it might get a fucking 11 out of 10 next year if it lands, bruh. Bruh. A lot of people like some people like, man, they gonna have to use like all every show they got to like go across, because they have 5 shows, so you can use all 5 shows to explain Crisis on Infinite Earths. But I think they probably just still do 4. They'll top it off at like 4 episodes. I think they just use Supergirl, Arrow, Flash, and the Legends. So we don't even know if they like renewed. Like, so that's what's another thing. It's like, maybe they're gonna wait to see before they start writing. But you gotta write this hot now. Like, I don't know. It got me hyped, and I can't wait to see it. I love this crossover. I've been rewatching the episodes over and over, because I just got them on my laptop. I just like going back and rewatching them. They very, very rewatchable episodes, and I think every time you see something different and you just smile. Like yesterday, I forgot which, I thought I was watching the second episode, and uh, something when I think when it was in Gotham, it was like Carl's. I mean, like Oliver was like, "Yeah, this is the good part of Gotham." And she said, I'm, I'm happy you think they're the good part of Gotham." Well, it's just a bunch of stuff. You just see Easter eggs or references you catch when you go back and watch the episodes. Because I'm probably gonna be diving them over and over. And I'm probably finna just watch them all the way straight through. Since the third one, since the finale came out last night. But I've been rambling on. You guys, let me know what you thought about it down in the comments. Hit that like button, subscribe to my channel. I catch you with you guys later. Peace.